So also last week we put in the update about the EU situation. So, and I know that got a lot of people commenting on it and things like that. So really quickly, so in a nutshell, as succinctly as you can tell us, so how is Bones 4, how is Bones 5 going to differ from Bones 4 in terms of shipping to the EU and collecting VAT and all these kinds of things?
Oh yeah, I get what you're asking.
All right.
Okay, in Bones 4, to set the stage, we had a company that we still have, the UK warehouse. Okay.
Now, and Brexit, Britain was still part of the EU during
Right, yeah. At that time, Britain was part of the EU. We have our company there in the UK. We had a VAT number. That was really an EU VAT number based in the UK. That's how their brain wrapped it.
Right.
Okay, now, then comes Bones 5, and the Brexit's on the horizon. And that is just like, as I said, this 70s show where the car goes off the cliff and then explodes in the air for no reason. And the Brexit's just this Brexit. Okay.
Right.
So then come Bones 5. Because we don't know what's going to happen, we do not collect VAT because we don't have a VAT number to be able to legally collect it. If we did that, then they would get after us for fraud because you're trying to do something you can't do.
Right.
So with that, we did collect shipping for the EU, okay? Mm-hmm. So what now happens is VAT's paid as VAT. They're going to pay it up if they went down the street or whatever. That's it. So you have the import duties and stuff like that. So we had the attorney, got the accountants online, got a big discussion, and we all had a meeting yesterday or the day before with the people overseas. And what we're hearing is that it's somewhere between 3 and 6% is the import duty cost or the cost of your order. That's the part you'll have to pay that we didn't collect either. It went on top of the VAT. Had we collected VAT and done everything we would have done, yes, you could have avoided that small part. But with everything that had happened, it's a little hard to, we call it, a Kickstarter for us is shooting an arrow 2 years into the future, and you have to hit the bullseye.
Right.
Sometimes we just don't hit the bullseye. So in this case, you're looking at about 3 to 6 or an average of 4.5%. The only other fee we were told of that backers might have to pay, depending on how it goes to them, is there's a company called DPD. I had that there. That ships out of the UK, and they charge an additional €6 for a handling packaging fee, which we didn't even know about that.
Right.
So that's the only thing we know of that will go there. It'll ship to you postage. We collected the postage from you. We're paying the shipping on that, and that's really about it.
So why can't we just open up a VAT account in the EU right now?
Because the portal that you would register with, you like you coached on these questions. The portal that you're going is not going to even be open until June, and now we were told yesterday possibly July. And what the portal is where us as a company, a U.S. company or a UK company, would now go to get an EU VAT number, and then with that, then we could start collecting. But that's not even going to be available June, July, and that's under the assumption that they're on time. Okay, so I don't know that. And a lot of these problems occurred because they didn't even ratify, and they still have problems going on, because UK ratified the Brexit in December 31st or something. I don't remember the date exactly, but basically late December, early January, one of them. And the EU itself has not ratified the Brexit. So a lot of these rules, while they're not really going to be technically subject to change, we don't know what could happen because they still haven't said, we've confirmed it. We haven't ratified this.
Right.
So, but as far as we know, that'll be what happened. They'll ship out of the UK facility to you. We're paying the postage. You're going to have to pay the VAT, which you would anyway. And then there's that fee that'll run 3 to 6%, or as we were told, the average 4.5%.
Yeah, that's the import. The duties.
Import fee or whatever. And I don't remember what country they were looking at for that. I think it was Germany. I can remember hearing that one. But it doesn't really matter. These were the examples, and they told us that was what to expect. So, what's the next question?
So, we were in discussion with some other partners in Europe.
Marcus, right?
Yeah, about using them as a facilitator.
And in fact, another company in this conversation came up that could be used. However, it doesn't. Without an EU number, we have no way to collect that VAT to in turn utilize any shipper.
What happens if you collect VAT now without a number?
Well, that's what I said earlier.
It's against the law, right?
It's against the law. Yeah. You're committing a crime. So
that's not going to happen.
So hence Marcus was off the table. Plus there was a company that was
Slovenia.
Slovakia, and
Ireland I heard too.
Right. Well, now technically that's actually what we're being instructed now to do. When you choose your new VAT number, or when the portal opens up,
I
we
see.
have to actually choose a country to be based out of. Ireland will be our choice because we have the language common and those types of things.
Right.
So we'll be doing the same thing again we did before from being in the UK, and we'll just register out of Ireland. But
And-
this is not even an option.
And our preparations for these things were complicated by the pandemic. It's not like we could travel to Europe and set these companies up.
Jump
How long
in.
did it take us to set up our
UK took over 2 years to set up.
Right.
As a company. I don't know that we have to set a company up in Ireland yet. We might. Again, we don't know. But what we were, my reading of it is that when we make our application, we have to choose a EU member country to base out of, and then in turn become under their laws and stuff like that. So I'm sure some attorneys will get some money out of it, but I don't know if we have to actually set a company up.
Okay.
A lot of the stuff that we went through weren't standard. Like if you come here and get a lease, it's just a standard universal commercial code lease. Over in England, it's all custom. So you have to get lawyers involved,
Everything.
on both sides, and it takes a long time, and so it's just not as fast as it is.
They've had a lot of time, like several centuries, to work out their legal system. And I mean, I tell you what, the lawyers, they got it.
A common thing was, it's like, oh, you had time to prep all this stuff, but in reality, we just didn't know because of the Brexit didn't get finalized until later,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
And Britain
things kept
didn't
getting
leave.
pushed.
Britain didn't leave the EU until
December
December?
30th.
December?
Of last year, just a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Is when the
3
vote was
months ago.
ratified.
And
everything
then
else.
now
Yeah.
the portal keeps getting pushed back, and everything
Yeah.
is
The
so
UK
all over
has
the
their
place.
portal up. It went up January 1st, but
Right.
we're already there. We don't need that portal.
Yeah.
It's the EU
We do
portal
what we
need.
can for the customer service.
Now,
There we go.
honestly, we do everything we can to communicate everything we understand at the time. And the fact that what happened after you update told us, well, we missed that. And that's
Yeah.
something that we will work towards for the next Kickstarter that will bring in more. Honestly, it was just not something we didn't, I don't know. We'll get better at communication.
we'll get better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should have been, should have communicated. We could have said, well, by the way, this is where we are now, and next week, this is where we are now. It just didn't hit
And
that
I blame
mindset.
John for that.
Of course. Well, you have to, but no, John's here. Oh, crap, we're in trouble. Ron's here, too. There's our two
That's
main
right.
blamers.
Justin, let's
That's right.
blame Justin.
Collins
Collins
isn't
is
in the
not
room.
here.
Yeah, Collins is-
Collins.
Yeah, there we go.
Collins.
That's the
100%
number one
Collins.
Reaper rule around here is blame whoever's not in the room.
So
So,
Like you
there we
said,
Or
go.
Ron.
we yeah, and that's usually the words too. We
The
will
hierarchy of blame.
do
Sorry.
our best going forward to be a lot better about this.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, shooting an arrow 2 years into the future and trying to hit the bullseye. Just hit the target. It's really hard to do. There's a lot of moving parts.
Parts
It's
to
not
this,
that simple.
yes.
And yeah, we don't
And
have
a lot of unforeseen things. I mean, and not just on this, but just everything. I mean, now the Suez Canal is going to be shut down, possibly for weeks. I mean, that is going to have some serious food
Have an
issues,
impact on
a lot
something,
of
yeah.
stuff, but not really us. It's more of a European. They'll be dealing with it. But, I mean, this just, as I tell Dave this, and he hates to hear me say that, is it seems sometimes like it's 2020 day 531.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Yeah, with the pandemic, it certainly didn't help things for sure. So, okay, well, hopefully that's answered a lot of questions, a lot of concerns. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't, but I really hope it does. So
My
we're
understanding
doing our best.
is, and hello everybody. Justin's going to clip that segment, I think, and you're going to put it in one of your next updates, a link to it.
Yeah.
So when it goes out, so it'll actually go out on the Kickstarter too
Okay.
page. Yeah.
All right. Very
All right,
good.
so what's
All right.
next?
So then we can move on to some happy things.